Welcome to Unanimous Sports Entertainment, starring myself, Jay Danks. The hype is real. We got a new setup. We are fired up to bring you guys the number one source of sports entertainment. Today, we're going to have a guest. His name is Mr. Ben Levy. You're going to recognize him. You're going to love him. And what will we be talking about? UFC 280, Oliveira versus Makhachev. Buckle up and enjoy the show. Mr. Levy, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Let's get right to it. UFC 280. Let's start with Peter Yan against Suga Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley took this split decision. I want to hear your thoughts. Tell me what you think.
So I was watching this fight. I was sitting in a room with all my friends who all had money on Suga Sean.
Wow.
A couple $100, whatever, decent sized bets. They were all stressing out. Round one, Suga lands way more significant strikes. Peter Yan has the control time, and it kind of stayed the same throughout the whole fight. I think round two, no question, obviously Yan's round.
Definitely Yan.
But overall, I did have Suga winning the fight because I feel like nowadays in the UFC, we got to normalize realizing that being on the ground, laying on top of someone, doing nothing, it's not as impressive as landing all these strikes and moving around and actually fighting and staying consistent with it. And throughout the entire fight, I think that Suga literally, on the feet, he was way more dominant. Landing strike after strike, he was hurting Yan. And honestly, I don't think Yan did enough to actually win that fight. Well, I think if you look at the big things in the matter, Suga really took it.
I agree with that. I think Suga took the big moments in that fight. He proved out there that he could stand with the big guys. Number one guy in Peter Yan, not anymore. But if you go round by round, Yan took two, Suga took three. It came down to one.
Toss-up, yeah.
Round one was a toss-up, and right away, I feel like most people's reaction was, what the fuck? Suga Sean did not win that fight. Peter Yan won round one. But then, I taped it, I recorded it, I bought the pay-per-view, I watched it a couple days later, and I just watched the first round. I watched it from a Suga perspective, a Suga fan perspective, and I watched it from a Peter Yan fan perspective. And both times, I had Suga. Because, to me, like you said, if you're on top of someone, and you're not doing much, you're not chasing submissions, you're not fucking landing elbows, anything like that, why should that count? And why should the judges look at you as if you're winning the fight just because you're lying on top of someone? Even when Suga was on the bottom, he was chasing submissions. Yan was trying to get out of a couple. So to me, in every way, I had Suga round one, Suga round three, Suga 29-28, and that's what the judges scored it. And,
I agree.
Sucks for Yan, because, that was a good fight. I don't think he was expecting that. Mm-hmm. I think he expected Suga to be way less agile. His chin, he landed a big punch. I think Yan thought that if he put on the pace and when you got deep in that fight, I think Yan thought he would have taken it easily, especially if it went to a judge's scorecard. But Suga looked like he trained. He was ready for the big moment, as he always is. And as for what's next for these two guys, I heard Peter Yan is contemplating leaving the UFC because he doesn't feel like they have his back. If Peter Yan leaves the UFC, that shakes up the whole division.
For sure.
I mean, that division, the bantamweight 135-pound division, is the deepest division in the sport. So let's say Peter Yan stays. We'll do Yan leaves, Yan stays scenarios. If Peter Yan stays, what happens with him next? What happens with the Suga Show? Do you want to see Yan have a rematch right away? Do you want to see him fight another top guy? Tell me.
I mean, the thing with Yan is we've all seen what he's done in his past. He's a former champ. He's very dominant. He's a great fighter in that division, no doubt. But now he's lost to Aljo. He just lost to Suga. Where's he going from here, right? Is he still going to be fighting these top guys? Because when he fights these top guys, this fight with Suga, he didn't get completely destroyed. It was a very close fight, as we saw. It could have gone either way. But, the question is, where does he go from here? Because I don't know who he's going to fight. I know Suga, there's more different scenarios for him. There's more opportunities. Definitely. He can go for the belt. He can fight Marlon Oliveira, and the winner of that takes the belt. Yeah. There's a bunch of scenarios for Suga.
He can take a big money fight, move up in weight, move fucking down in weight.
Suga's got a lot of options. He's the up-and-coming, quote-unquote, Conor McGregor, as they're trying to turn him into. But, for Yan, I don't really know. Does he fight down?
So, for me, I'm looking at the rankings here. I pulled up the 135-pound ranks. Yan's fought a lot of those top guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yan's fought Suga. Yan's fought Corey Sandhagen. Yan's fought Aljo. Can't fight Aljo again.
No, not after losing it.
Not after losing and getting disqualified in the first one. TJ Dillashaw, whether he retires or not, he's done for a while. That shoulder is fucked.
Yeah.
He's done. There's one name that stands out to me other than Chito Vera, and it's Merab Dvalishvili, however you pronounce it. Sorry, Merab. But I want to see Merab against Peter Yan, and maybe the winner of that could fight for the belt, or at least a title eliminator. And as for Suga, I don't want to see him fight for the belt right now. I want to see him fight for a belt when he looks dominant, when he looks like he's ready to take that gold. And after that, I mean, he won. He looked good. But, you know, he got stunned. He had moments in there. And it kind of takes him back to what you said. They're trying to make him into Conor McGregor. Yeah. And when Conor McGregor fought for the belt, he just knocked out Chad Mendes. He looked good. He was off a fucking streak. And he knocked out Jose Aldo in 13 seconds. Also, like Khamzat Chimaev, he fought Gilbert Burns, and everyone was like, if he gets through Gilbert, he's fighting for the belt. But he didn't look that good.
Gilbert proved he was a human.
Exactly. And Chimaev did not look that good, and you saw he went for a nice little money fight. Nate Diaz ended up being Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
And
we saw what happened there.
But do you want to see Suga fight for the belt, or you want to see him in a title eliminator against Chito? Because I think those are the only two realistic options here.
Yeah. The thing with Suga is he's still so young, and I think... Although I was watching his fight, and I was really impressed with what he was doing. I was really impressed. Personally, I thought Yan was going to walk through him. But the problem with Suga is even when I was watching that fight, I still saw some flaws in his game that I didn't see in Conor's game when he was on the come-up.
Fair.
You know, when Conor was on the come-up, and we all talk about Suga being so flashy, getting those knockouts, finishing people. There was countless times in this fight where Suga had Yan hurt.
Yeah.
He had him hurt bad, and then he would hit him with a punch, and then it's like he was staring at him. He was like, I hurt you.
He was like almost as if the crowd was getting to him. He didn't know whether he should push for the finish or not. And I mean, at least you know he's thinking. At least you know he has a brain out there, and he's actually really thinking about each and every move he makes.
But I think he should have pushed for the finish.
But you saw when he did push a bit. Actually, no, I was going to say when he pushed a bit, he got hit with that big overhand left.
Yeah.
But it was more like what you said when he was standing there kind of deciding what he's going to do.
Yeah,
is when
it's like
he
was
hit.
thinking in the spot, and he was like, I heard him. Do I push him? What do I do? What do I do? Like, it looked like he was getting to him a little bit.
One flaw I also saw was when Yan would kind of try to just grab a hold of him, he would give him his back. Kind of remind me of when Sandhagen fought TJ Dillashaw, and whenever TJ would get close, Sandhagen would kind of just turn his back because, you know, separate his hands or whatever. Doesn't look good because you're giving Peter control time. And you saw he had fucking like 6 minutes of control time. And that counts towards the judges. Obviously not enough, thank God. But you just got to be careful. And really, you know, you got to be aware of who you're fighting, what he could do to you, and how the judges will look at that. Anyways, so I agree with you. I think Suga should fight Chito next before he fights for that belt. You could hype that up. You could put that as a pay-per-view co-main event 5 round.
Yeah.
You could put that as a fucking fight night main event 5 rounds. Regardless, both of those guys have to have a 5-round fight as their next fight, whether it be for the belt or against each other.
Yeah. I think a co-main would be perfect.
Yes. Anyways, so that's our take. Chito versus Suga. Peter Yan either gone from the fucking UFC because Dana White doesn't have his back. Yeah, sure, buddy. Anyways, moving on to the other big bantamweight fight. Aljo Sterling against TJ Dillashaw, the Snake Dillashaw. What'd you think about that? Because that was fucking... I don't even know what I was watching. I don't know what I was watching. I didn't know what to make of it. I want to hear what you think.
So I'm watching this fight, and I'm thinking in my head, I really want Dillashaw to win. I want him to come back. I want him to win. I want him to
put some respect on his name.
Yeah, put some respect on his name. You know, this guy was one of the best bantamweights of all time, and then now he's coming in with a chance to maybe potentially prove that he is the best of all time if he wins maybe a couple defenses. Sure. But... then comes the shoulder injury, and I'm watching, and I see his shoulder pop out. I'm looking, I'm like, oh my god, this guy is fucked. Yeah. This guy is fucked. His shoulder's out, he cannot move his whole arm. He can't throw a punch, and then Aljo comes out here, and he dominates him. He makes him look like a complete bitch, as he should, with a broken shoulder. But the question is you're taking a fight as big as this in the co-main event on a huge pay-per-view card. It's your big chance to prove yourself, TJ, after all you've been through. And you fight with a broken shoulder. He broke it 20 times in fucking training camp. Like,
shoulder was out. The shoulder was out. And the one thing about the shoulder is once it's out,
it's in and out every time.
And you keep pushing it, it's in, it's out, it's in, it's out. I mean, listen, good for the guy for fighting, putting on the show.
But is it really good for him for fighting?
No, probably not. But I mean, to get that fixed, you need a surgery. And he was just coming off a surgery. What, is he going to wait a year? The guy's 37 years old. I'm not 100% sure. 36, 37. But you can't waste another year getting surgery, recovering. And you don't know what would happen in that division, the landscape of that division. I'm happy he fought. I was pumped to see this. I was disappointed with the result.
Yeah.
And for fucking Aljo Sterling to come out and say, oh, people just think that happened by itself. It did fucking happen by itself.
Yeah, he broke
it
his
happened
right
in
time
training camp. It popped out. You tried to take his leg, and he fell on the fucking arm.
Yeah.
And Aljo's thing was, oh, well, he could have fallen on his fucking other arm. Get the fuck out of here, man. Give TJ Dillashaw just a bit of respect. Because I understand when people look at this guy as a cheater and they hate on him for that and disrespect him. I get that. I understand that because he took stuff that he's not allowed to take, and that's fine. But when a guy comes with a shoulder that's been separated 20 plus times in the past 2-3 months, and he just comes in there to put on a show for us, for you guys, you gotta respect it. You gotta give the man a bit of props. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was expecting him to get on that mic and announce the retirement. I saw him taking off the gloves. I mean, I guess it was just because, he wanted to move his shoulder around nicely. But I was expecting a nice little retirement speech after that, because what is next? What could this guy even do? Like, who do you want to see him fight? Do you want to see him fucking come up for the belt again? No, I don't want to see it. I want to see this guy. I'll tell you what I want to see. I want to see TJ Dillashaw against Dominic Cruz, the two of the best bantamweights of all time, go up against each other once again, past their primes, of course, but who gives a fuck? Let these two have it out one more time. Both of them retire. It's both their retirement fights. What do you think?
Could be a good fight. Could be a good shout. I think it would be entertaining for sure if it's a retirement fight.
Yeah, you could build that up too.
I find retirement fights are always cooler when it's like, if you announce it on the mic, you announce it right away. Yeah. You lose, I'm fucking out of here forever.
Like WWE shit.
Shit. Like, it's always hyped like that. Just the build-ups there,
Yeah.
And also, like, another thing I want to talk about, Aljamain, man, like, not one fighter. Sorry, not one fighter.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, no. There is not one fighter who is more cringe or annoying than that guy, man. Holy shit.
You know what Aljo says? He says in interviews, I was listening to an interview with Ariel, he goes, oh, people just call me cringe because they don't know what describes someone who knows what they are and knows what they want. Buddy, you're fucking cringy, just like
He's so cringy. I cannot stand that guy, man. At least, like, when Suga does his dances, the crowd's into it. It's fucking hype. He's balling there. Like, Aljamain, bro, everybody's looking at him like, yo, get the fuck out of here, bro. Your fight's over. Like, fuck off. I don't like you. Like, it's so annoying just watching this guy. Like, I'm not going to take anything away from him as a fighter because even though he did beat Dillashaw, like, with a questionable injury, all that stuff, whatever, like, he's been on an 8-fight win streak. He's a very dominant guy. He's a champ in a very stacked division. Like, good for you. Stop being so fucking cringe, man. Like, it just pisses me off watching that guy.
And then he complains, and people complain. Other fucking cringy people out there in the UFC, they complain. Oh, why they don't have more fans? Why people don't want to watch them? Why they won't sell pay-per-views? That's why no one cares to watch that. And pair that with your style. I mean, listen, kid's got a good style. He could fucking fight. He could fucking choke someone. But I mean, no one really, really wants to watch Aljo Sterling run up against someone and just grab them and try to choke them out. Listen, he's very skillful. He's a great fighter. Can't take anything away from him. I still respect him, but I don't respect how he fucking promotes himself.
Yeah,
and then how he talks about how, the UFC don't pay enough. You can't fucking, sell your fucking pay-per-views. Build a fucking fan club like Suga, like other guys, and then you could talk.
And so another fight I really can't wait for is hoping that Suga takes out Marlon Vera and that fight happens and then Suga goes for the belt, man. If Suga just knocked out Aljamain out cold and started dancing on him, like, that would make my year. That would be amazing.
Aljo Sterling would go into a deep depression after that because the world would hate him. The world loves Suga, and there's not many Aljo fucking Sterling fans out there. Yeah. How many guys, if you go and you put the mic against their fucking mouth and you say, hey, who's your favorite fighter? Who's your favorite fighter? Maybe 1% of them say Aljo Sterling. Suga Sean has it. When that fight happens, man, the fight week, the media, Sterling's gonna be in for a big fucking cause there. Anyways, if they were to fight Suga and Sterling, it's gonna be interesting because two different styles.
Yeah, completely.
Suga will stand up. He's quick. He likes to fight moving back. He likes when people put the pressure on him and he fights on his back. He likes on his back foot. And he could fucking throw power. He could throw heat. Aljo, not a great striker. He likes to put the pace on you, just what Suga wants. Aljo tires out, man. That guy is jacked. He is shredded, man.
Yeah.
You can't fucking have great cardio when you're shredded like that. Suga, I got Suga in that fight, man. Fuck Aljo. I got Suga. He's gonna knock his bitch ass out and take it to the fucking Arizona, where the fuck he's from. Anyways, let's talk about the main event. Fucking Islam Makhachev. Khabib 2.0. The Dagestan wrestling is too much, even for Charlie Oliveira. And new Islam Makhachev is a new 155-pound king. What do you guys say about that? Put respect on fucking Islam Makhachev's name, man.
He scares me, man.
He's not Khabib. He may be better than Khabib.
He scares me. As soon as I saw this fight happen, and as soon as I saw him take that belt, run into Khabib's arms, everything, I was watching with all my boys, and I said, watch this moment. This guy is not losing one of his next 10 fights.
Oh.
He's going up and up and up. He's going to take out the whole division. And the thing about Islam is, at least Charlie took out most of the big guys in the division, right? Like
names.
Poirier, Chandler, Gaethje. He took out the big names. Makhachev's yet to fight these guys.
Hasn't fought a single
So
fucking
Makhachev's
head.
going to do it all over again and take them all out.
Yeah.
And, this guy, man, the wrestling, we saw it with Khabib. A lot of people like to hate on Khabib and just say he's not one of the best all time, whatever. First of all, he's the most dominant, no doubt. No doubt, okay? And Makhachev is the same and arguably better. I know we saw him get knocked out, which showed maybe he has some weakness.
Yeah.
But fuck, that fight with Charlie, man, that fight with Charlie wasn't even close. It wasn't close, man. He dominated him.
The thing about that fight is, you're watching it, and to the eye, Islam doesn't look that good until he gets a hold of you. His stand-up is a little sloppy, but he's powerful. He knocked Oliveira down.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the same as Khabib,
a lot of people knock him down. But the thing with Islam that separates him from Khabib is they'll both take you down. They'll both get you to the mat and dominate you. But Khabib is more he'll get on top of you and just smoke you. Islam, the second he grabs you, in his mind, he's just trying to fucking break your arm or choke you out. Yeah. He's not trying to pound your face in. You saw it. He literally took Oliveira down, and within 5 seconds, Oliveira was tapping. Yeah. That guy's got a squeeze and a half. Man, Makhachev, for people that say Makhachev only got the title fight because he's Khabib's protege or whatever.
I mean, now he just proved it that he would have deserved it anyways.
Fine. But come on, you really cared to see Makhachev fight a bunch of Chandlers, Gaethje's, Dustin, just to prove that he could fight Oliveira for the belt? No, I'd rather be like that, and now he could defend against those guys and build a resume, because that's going to be dope, because you've got Chandler against Poirier. Chandler against Poirier, yes, in November next month. Winner of that can fight for the belt.
Yeah.
After Volkanovski fights Makhachev.
That's the thing I was going to bring up right now.
Oh my God, talk about it.
Volkanovski and Makhachev, that's a crazy fight.
That's a classic.
That is an insane fight. And I really respect that Makhachev right away. As soon as he just took out Oliveira, goes right away for Volk. He doesn't even want the rest of the division. He wants to fuck up the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world.
I just want to say that Khabib, the guy has his own promotion, Eagle FC. I'm going to start watching that fucking fight, Eagle FC, because Khabib, that guy could promote. Yeah. He got on the mic, and he didn't even let Islam talk. He goes, I want the pound-for-pound number one, the featherweight champ, Alexander Volkanovski, in his backyard in Australia in February. Man. Islam's standing there with the belt. It's like the guy's not even the champ. Khabib's the champ.
Islam's standing there with the belt
That was great to see, but good for Islam for fucking accepting it, getting Volkanovski in there, facing up, squaring up. Volkanovski's fucking short, man. He is small, but that guy,
powerful.
He's got to be hard to take down, man.
Yeah.
He's short. Powerful. He's got legs the size of this fucking room. And I mean, the guy's fast as fuck, and he could land a punch.
Am I crazy for thinking that Islam still gets it done?
No, you're not crazy at all.
Because I don't know, man. I don't know if
it's a big weight difference.
I don't know if it's recency bias or whatever after you watch the one fight there, but bro, I just don't think this guy's losing for another 10 fights. It's in my mind, it's literally Khabib, man. This guy I think he might even be better than Khabib. Who knows, man? He's still young also.
He's young.
He's going to be that champ for a long time, especially if he gets through Volk.
So, here's what I think. I was looking at, what a while ago, when this fight was paired up, Makhachev Oliveira. What if Makhachev wins? The guy's 29. On average, people fight 3 times a year. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what Makhachev's plans are, but the guy says he wants to fight and he wants to be active, so you take him at his word. Let's say he fights 3 times per year. Okay, he's 29. Let's say he's in his prime till 34. Okay?
It's a lot of title defenses.
That's 5 years. Fucking 3 fights per year. That's 15 fights.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not going to fight 15 times in that period. But imagine the damage he could do, the people he can run through. But I could also see him pulling a Khabib. And at what point is,
He's
enough
just going to retire as the champ.
At what point are you just bored,
Yeah.
Go
and
off in the sunset.
you retire as the champ. And honestly, like, as much as it's bait, I think retiring as a champ is honestly, like, a strong move to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I don't want to see these
GSP
guys that are... Yeah, I don't want to see the guys, like, as much as it's bait, Khabib 29-0, you want to get to that 30, like, prove one more thing, whatever, like, you're in your prime still, whatever, like, you want to retire at a strong point, man. You don't want to retire as these guys getting fucked up in their last 4 fights. Like it's sad to see, honestly.
100%. You see it with a bunch of guys, like fucking Woodley, man. Guy just ends his career being a bum, and it sucks. But the one thing I will say is Khabib, 29-0, everyone wanted that last fight. He could have done it. He was still in his prime. But go off, man. Even if you think you'll be back, but you're not ready right now, instead of just holding up the division, retire. You could always come back. You see it with Dana and Khabib. Dana's always offering Khabib a fight. He's always offering this guy fucking $30 million to come back. Before this fight, Dana offered Khabib $30 million to come back and fight Oliveira. Yeah. But I mean, it was Islam time, as Khabib says.
And now I think there's no chance.
Fuck, is it Islam time, man? Imagine Khabib versus Islam Makhachev.
Never. It will never happen.
They're brothers. They're
it
can't
brothers. Happen, man. Come on.
It can't happen. I don't want to see it happen. It's like fucking the cutest relationship ever. It's his brother, his father. It's
unless
everything. What?
Islam goes to Khabib's house.
Whoa.
He fucks Khabib's girl.
Oh.
And they go in the octagon and they
Khabib
fight for the belt.
Does Khabib have a
girl? Bro, Khabib probably has fucking 40 women that he's slamming. Are you kidding me?
Khabib must have like 20 children.
Bro.
Khabib's got
somewhere in Dagestan.
They're already wrestling bears, man. They're already on the come up, just like Islam Makhachev is on the fucking come up, like you said. I
got a question for you though, about this fight. So Oliveira, we saw him. He's not a bad fighter at all.
No,
right? We saw him be pretty dominant against all these other guys,
sure.
Right? And so, is there a moment where we look at the way he was walking in the ring, we look at his style, we look at him and Islam, there weren't too much fighting words before the fight. He walks in the ring, he's shaking his hand, he's going up to all his coaches, giving him high fives. Do you think that maybe Oliveira needs to get more mad and get more into it to release the inner beast? Because he's going in there and he looks like he's like, yeah, I'm ready to fight. I'm gonna go win this fight. But is he really angry about it? Is there really that fighting mentality in him?
I think for us, to get us going, you gotta get us mad. You gotta get us going. Man. And it's like that with a lot of fucking guys. But there's certain guys, especially from the cultures they come from, their religion, whatever. This guy comes from Brazil, and I'm sure their culture is respect.
Yeah.
Just fight, and then shake hands after. Shake hands before fight. Shake hands after. You saw when he fought Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier got into the mat a couple times. Oliveira ultimately gets the job done, chokes him out, and then after, Oliveira's in his face telling him he's going to give money to his charity. I think that's just how Charlie Oliveira is. And I mean, for us fans, people who just want to see some entertainment, obviously we rather Oliveira fucking walk up to Khabib, throw the fucking deuces up, say I'm going to fuck up your boy, and then they fight. But
I'm all for the respect after the fight and whatever, and donating the money to charity, sure, that's a class move all the time, whatever. But before the fight, man, I think you gotta have more of that dog mentality. You can't go shaking all his coaches' corner, everything. He just looked too comfortable. In his mind, I think he underestimated him a bit, honestly.
Maybe, I mean,
because I think he walked in there super comfortable, super loose, whatever. As a fighter should be ready for the fight, look loose, look confident. But I don't know, I didn't see too much confidence from him. I saw he was more loose and just all right, let's go. But I didn't really see the confidence, I'm gonna go in there and fuck up your boy.
Islam
sometimes that's what you gotta have.
Yeah.
Islam went in there with one mindset. He's I'm coming out, I walk in, I walk out, champion, pound for pound, number one. That's Islam's mindset in there.
Which, by the way, Islam's fucking already pound for pound 3, which is crazy.
Fuck.
But I think you're referring to a guy like Alexander Volkanovski, who is the most respectful guy. But even on fight week, the guy's chirping a bit. He's chirping.
For sure.
He wants to win. He comes in.
He wants you to know that I'm coming for you. And
he touches gloves.
And that's it.
And he fights. He fucks you up, and then he shakes your hand, and on to the next.
You touch the gloves before.
I agree.
You don't go to walk around the ring, shake everybody's hand. Good luck, guys. Good luck. Good luck. Come on, man.
I just feel like, some fucking cultures are like that, and no hate on that. I mean, if that's what works for them. But you're asking if it would fucking enhance his performance if you put on a bit of a dog, mentality.
If you start some
maybe,
shit,
maybe. Who knows? We'll never know. That's not how he is. That's not how Makhachev is. Quickly, I just want to talk about Makhachev after Volkanovski, whether he gets through Volkanovski or not. Like you said, you think he's going to get through Volkanovski, but if he does, I mean, he dominates Chandler, he dominates Poirier, and he dominates Gaethje. Like,
all of them.
At what point, it's going to be tough for this guy to sell pay-per-views, I think, if he gets through Volkanovski, because you know what's going to happen. You saw Khabib fight Gaethje, you saw Khabib fight Poirier, and it's going to be the same thing, realistically.
Now, a fight to make happen is if he gets through Volkanovski, and then the other guy, I think we're all going to be thinking about Conor McGregor.
Ooh, I mean, of course.
We're all going to be thinking about that, but would it really happen? I don't know. Would Conor take that fight?
Conor would for sure take that fight.
You think?
Millions and millions and millions. I mean, come on.
Millions of dollars, but Conor would lose.
Conor would lose, but I mean, Conor's just adopted a new fight style according to his tweets. So, I mean, who knows?
Bro, that guy tweets like, come on, man. Conor's such a fucking loser.
That guy's going to come like fucking... Oh my god.
I hate that guy. Conor and Aljo, bro, the two biggest fucking losers.
No, come on.
Fuck those guys.
This is my boy Conor McGregor. You can't hate on that man. What he's done for the sport. But come on, he's got no shot. He's out of his prime. He's fucking broken his leg a year ago.
He tweets
come back and fight a striker.
What did he say? Too little something with a P. Peasants? What was it?
Oh yeah, probably.
Pisk something. Yeah. Too little whatever. Two little
Irish
pussies
words,
holding my belt. Holding both my belts. Like how cute. Like bro, both those guys would run through you right now. Like what are you talking about, Conor?
That's fucked, man. Volkanovski, I just want to touch on this before we move on. What happens to this guy if he takes over the lightweight, the lightweight fucking status, man? If he wins that belt, double champ, I could see him. He's got the personality. He's got the mentality that he will actually defend both belts.
Yeah, he loves to fight, man. He's active.
Especially
he's not
because
even taking too much damage in his own fights.
In terms of his health, he makes 145 pretty easily.
Yeah,
and
he's
155, doesn't really need to cut much weight at all.
He's fine.
So he could go back and forth, no problem. And the most scary part is he could fuck up Chandler. He could fuck up Poirier. He could fuck up Gaethje. He could fuck up all the lightweights. And we already know what he could do to the 145 pounders. I mean, as for what's next in that division, there's a fight this weekend, Cater versus Arnold Allen. We'll get to that next week when we talk about the fight. But Volkanovski is in a good spot. And good on him because he did everything the right way. Yeah. He's professional. He's respectful. But he comes to fight and he puts on a show for us. Every single fight, this guy's a dog.
Yeah, I love watching Volk fight.
Favorite fighter in UFC, guaranteed. You gonna say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say also the 145 division. I mean, after Holloway, right? It's kind of dead.
I mean, it
is kind of dead right now. If you look at the other divisions compared to the bantamweight, which is popping, the lightweight, which is popping, the welterweights, which are always popping, especially Khamzat and Kobe. That's the rumors to fight now. We saw Khamzat's Instagram post. That would be a crazy fight.
Oh, but man. Khamzat's a favorite, which is crazy.
Nah, I agree.
You agree? Okay, fine. From people see the name, people bet on Khamzat.
I mean, we saw Islam was the favorite too, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true too. Yeah, it's all about the name. It's all about what they've done recently.
Yeah,
Kobe's kind of lost to Usman twice, even though Usman's not the champ anymore. Lack, how much time, buddy? We got executive producer Lack. Guy's a freak behind the camera. Show's been going on 29 minutes. All right, let's keep it going for a bit.
But yeah, I was saying that 145 division, I think it's a little dead, especially compared to that lightweight division, right?
Yeah.
And so if Volk comes up and takes that lightweight division, I see no problem with him being active in both. I think he's gonna run through that 145 division. He's gonna continue to own it, and when it's all said and done, I think he will be the best of all time in that division. But that 155 division, the lightweight division, I don't know.
It's a bit stale, It's very.
It's the same guys that have been there for a while.
It's a bunch of one-dimensional fighters,
Yeah.
Boxers, powerful boxers, strikers, who could wrestle if needed. They have wrestling credentials in their background, college, whatever, but can't actually hang with the big guys like Islam.
Until there's a guy that Islam now is gonna wrestle and he's gonna go with their Volk, and that's a fight I'm really excited to see because I think because the winner of that I think will run that division for a while.
Run it, be pound for pound number one.
Yeah, for sure. That's a crazy fight, man.
Okay,
when's the last time we saw a fight for double champ status?
Oh,
Was it Izzy?
Probably Nunes, maybe. Yeah, probably Izzy.
Nunes.
No, maybe Izzy. Maybe Izzy.
One of the two. But
well, Nunes was a while ago. She had both belts, but she was defending them. You know,
Yeah.
Not Islam. I think Izzy was the last one to actually try to claim 2 belts. Yeah, you're probably right.
Like last time with Izzy and it was Stipe, right?
Who Izzy? No, yeah.
No, it wasn't Stipe. Yeah, sorry, it was Yan. So Izzy and Yan. That's the last time we saw that, and we saw what happened when Izzy moved up, and Izzy was like running through the middleweights. Everyone was like, "Holy shit, this guy's unbeatable!" And he moves up, and
they were too big for him.
They were too big for him. And so Volk, although we see him, he's a short, big bod.
Stocky.
We don't know, man. 10 pounds in the fight world, it makes a difference.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, they want to do it in Australia in February 12th, I believe. That fight card would be stacked because I think the main event would be Makhachev and Volkanovski. And I think the co-main event, only thing that makes sense, is Sterling against Cejudo. The comeback of Henry Cejudo. Because Cejudo always wanted Volkanovski. So put them on the same card. If they both win, fucking Volkanovski against Cejudo for the featherweight belt. That's a new name. That's a new contender.
Throw him in there.
Anyways, I want to move on from UFC 280. Let's end it off here. I've got one question for you. It's not MMA related. I mean, maybe a bit just because of one of the guys that's fighting. But you have Jake Paul against Anderson the Spider Silva. I want one prediction right now. Give it to me and how.
If you've seen me on this podcast before, you guys know I am a day one. Team 10, Jake Pauler, baby. Jake Paul is going to knock him out cold. Good night, Spider. See you later. Jake Paul to the moon by knockout, baby. Jake Paul wins this fight. He continues his rise up. He's going to fight the big names. We know he's not taking the fight that he's going to lose. Guys, if you want a lock of the night, put your house on fucking Jake Paul. It's free money. That's simple.
I can't comment after that. It's a good prediction. I can't fucking complain with that. Thank you for coming.
Always a pleasure.
That was a clean shake. Guys, on to the next. Welcome back to Unanimous Sports Entertainment. And we'll see you guys next week. Or maybe before next week to talk about some puck, some NHL, some NFL, some football. Or some other sport. Because we are the #1 source of sports entertainment, baby.